everybody. Happy Monday to you. I hope that you are enjoying your day. I try to not be so random with my live stream, so I tell people you can catch me around this time. I try to give myself a buffer of 7:05 because it's like getting off from work, chilling. This is my chill time after everybody's been taken care of. And I just need to make sure all that stuff happens before I do it sometimes. So everything is taken care of. So I'm ahead of the curve. The kids are fed. They'll probably start arguing like Ike and Tina about something soon, but we'll get through it. Anyways, you guys, I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Monday. It's interesting, right? I have been talking about this Trump Bloomberg interview, right? I'm like, you guys should check out this interview. I thought it was a great interview. I thought the forum was really good, especially for both political candidates to just kind of lay out their economic policies, right? Trump showed up, Kamala Harris did not show up, right? And I thought that it makes sense now to me why Kamala Harris did not show up. So we're going to let Trump tell you, and I'm going to kind of tell you kind of what you can kind of read between the lines of what Trump is saying, that basically that Bloomberg thing was not quite what we thought it should have been. So what you saying,
And don't
Trump?
do it and have a scandal, or go in and do it
Hang
and
on, let me
hopefully
see if I
win,
can start this
or you go
over.
walk out and don't do it.
Hang on.
Walk out,
So
you
this
have
is
a
Trump.
choice. Walk out and don't do it and have a scandal, or go in and do it and hopefully win, or you go in and do it and you get killed, which is probably the worst. But I got hoodwinked to go on that. I was supposed to make a speech in front of the Chicago Economic Club, which is a big deal, which is a very prestigious place, beautiful. Everything was beautiful. And all of a sudden, I understand I'm being interviewed by this gentleman.
I'm going to stop it there because I thought that Trump was going into an interview. That whole time, I thought that Trump was fully aware that that drill session that he was having on his economic policies, that was part of the event. But what Trump is saying is that no, I got hoodwinked. I was supposed to do a speech, and they came out with this one-to-one sit down drilling me on the economic policies.
Oh, I'd love to see him do Kamala. He should do Kamala. That would be beautiful. But he's a tough cookie, and he's the chairman of Bloomberg. He's a big guy. So all of a sudden, I'm being interviewed, and I wasn't happy about it because I found out that he is, his reputation precedes him.
Will you commit now to respecting and encouraging a peaceful transfer of power?
Well, you had a peaceful transfer of power.
You had a peaceful transfer of power compared with Venezuela, but it was by far the worst transfer of power for a long time.
Okay, so basically, Trump was like, I got hoodwinked, right? And maybe this is the reason why the Harris campaign declined that interview because, he didn't go there to give a speech. He got drilled on economic policies. And I'm pretty sure if Kamala Harris would have showed up, her campaign would be finished. It would be finished if he would have came at her the same way that he came at Trump. So, how are you? How are you? Hi, hi, hi. But it's interesting because I thought that was an incredible interview. I was like, now this is what we need to have is just sitting down and drilling these candidates on what they believe, right? And Trump was like, nope, I was supposed to attend this event as a speaker, not being interviewed. So, yeah. Please tell me you are not a secret Kamala voter. I'm not telling you anything. I am just talking about this particular topic. I don't know what you need somebody to tell you, but I don't really know you to be telling you anything personally. But what I am saying is that Trump is saying that he got set up. He got set up. That Bloomberg thing was not what we thought it was supposed to be. He was supposed to give a speech, talk to the forum. He was not supposed to sit down and do that drill session. So that explains a lot because I did talk about how Kamala Harris's team did not show up for that forum, and it was really, really important for both candidates to sit down like that. And now it makes sense. They're like, nah, that's a huge setup. If that dude grilled Kamala Harris like he grilled Trump, her whole campaign would be finished. So I can understand why they just took the L and was like, no, we're just not going to show up. This is just going to be a scandal, right? Because that dude really did drill him on his economic policies. And I think it was actually a cop out for the Kamala Harris campaign not to sit down and do that same thing, because really the economy is the thing that's, most important on people's mind. So to have somebody sit down and drill these candidates in that manner, like Bloomberg did, like they did Trump, we actually needed to see that from Kamala Harris, to see her stand on her economic policies and plan. But she copped out on that very, very important interview, whatever it was supposed to be. That was a great opportunity for her to showcase her conviction towards her economic plan, and they dimed out on that. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it at that. But anyways, the Kamala Harris campaign, right? They're desperate. They're still desperate. And I think what they're really trying to do is, do everything they can to reach Black men. So I remember in 2020, there was this campaign that says, like it was something like, what is it? Like no sex without voting. Like basically women were on this campaign to withhold sex from their men if they voted a certain manner. It's like, don't vote. So apparently Kamala Harris campaign, they believe that, men, their voting decisions come down to women not wanting to have sex with them. So in one of their recent campaign videos, they have this pop the balloon scenario in which they use a Black man, right? And he, first of all, who the hell wears a sticker that says I didn't vote? That was the first stupid thing about that whole thing, is if I don't vote, why the hell would I be wearing a sticker that say I didn't vote, let alone on a damn date? That was the first stupid thing about the commercial. It's like, if bro is not into voting, why is he even wearing a sticker talking about that he don't vote? Didn't make any sense. So they're showing the girl zero in on his sticker that say I didn't vote, and then basically she walks away. So they're giving the I guess the simulation that, hey, if you're a dude that don't participate in the political process, if you're one of those Black guys who are saying that you're going to sit it out, guess what? You're not going to get any nookie, right? No pickle tickle for you, because these women don't like men that don't vote, right? Basically, right? Then they have the pop the balloon thing where the chicks are all asking dude the question. And obviously this thought, which I never really can think about a thought, wondering if anybody's voting. I mean, do thoughts even vote? But anyways, the thought goes and she asks him, were you going to be voting on November 5th? And he's like, no, I'm not into that. And then they all pop their balloon. So basically they're trying to set up the narrative that if you are a dude that do not vote or participate in a political process, right, they're going to pop your balloon. You have no chance with these liberal women, right? And I'm just kind of looking at the messaging behind this, and I'm trying to draw the inspiration here, right? What are they trying to inspire Black, like what is this message trying to tell Black men? Because these dudes, they gonna get behind no matter what, whether they vote or not, they gonna be clapping cheeks. And that's just real talk. These women are going to be giving it up, whether these dudes are voting or not. So it's just, to me, this is another shaming. This is another shaming strategy of the Harris campaign, because they are struggling with men right now. And they're struggling particularly with Black men. So now they're showing these Black women withholding their goods from these Black men because they're not on the same page with them as voting. Like, who makes this shit up? Like, who told the Democrats that this is going to be it? Now, if you didn't get the Black men voters for any other campaign video, whatever, this one is it. Let's do the pop the balloon so that they see women walking away from men who are not voting. Like, this is the dumbest shit ever. This looks like desperation at this point. And then at the end, you see Kamala Harris, and this is coming from Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, right? Y'all, like, you don't know how to message to these men. It is very clear that that campaign, they hate men so much because obviously they want them all to be pansies, right? But they don't know how to communicate with men, to men, right? And they tried to use Tim Walz, but Tim Walz is just as fruity as they come, right? He couldn't even load a shotgun. I mean, listen to this. This is crazy.
Walz was selected because he was supposed to help Vice President Harris with rural white voters, hunters, and we saw a video of the guy struggling to load his shotgun. And Democrats said he's an avid hunter. He has a ton of guns.
I mean, they really love up talking these people. And then when it's time for them to show up, it's like bump, but a doom.
The A400, I have one of those, semi-automatic, easy to load. And then he said, you see this little thing here? Because when you get older, it sort of helps protect you. It's called a recoil pad. It does soften the blow. But he didn't even know the proper name. So for any hunter out there who saw that video, they're thinking, this guy doesn't know anything about firearms. They need to get a refund, just like the little pretend Bass Pro Shop suit he got. They should have went with the governor of Pennsylvania.
Okay, there's just a couple things.
You're right. They took him to the Bass Pro. Like, look, we're gonna get you a whole bunch of stuff to make you look like a hunter, right? But this dude don't even know how to load the shotgun. He don't even know how to load it. And then he had the nerve to say on The View that he could shoot better than any of these Trump supporters who are actually real life hunter and know the names of all the things on their gun without saying thingy. Women speak in thingies, okay? I speak in thingies. Like, oh, you know, like that little thingy. And then my guy friend would be like, yeah, that has a name, right? It has a name. Thanks, guy. Thanks, fella. I speak in thingies, right? Because I don't really rock with a lot of things, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know, if you're a guy who's supposed to be a subject matter expert, or you just been doing something for years, if you're a hunter for years, I don't know a lot of hunters that will refer to anything on their gun as a thingy. Like, I just don't know that. And so they're trying to get this guy to resonate with these rural white men. And I'm pretty sure even rural white men know a fake psyop when they see it. Like, bro, you ain't no real hunter, and you damn sure can't go hunting with me. You calling shit on the gun thingies. You were not the same kind, bro. You can't go hunting with us. You can't go hunting with us. Not one man in my circle referred to stuff on their gun as a thingy. I know the real hunters are like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Look at this guy. He can't even load it.
Firearms. They need to get a refund, just like the little pretend Bass Pro Shop
And this
suit
is
he
a
got.
brother.
They should have went with the governor of Pennsylvania.
Okay, there's just a couple things.
And shout out to Devoy Darkins for sharing this. But he's right. And then Tim Walz had the nerve to go on to The View and try to up his hunting skills. I got awards. You got awards and you're calling things on your guns thingies? You see this little thingy right here? The guy was talking about the recoil pad, right? But it's like, this dude, he's like, I got one of those guns. It's called a recoil pad. It's like, seriously, nobody, a real hunter, is not talking like this. But this is just a big psyop of it. Like, they even said, the brother said it. They picked Tim Walz because he's a white guy, right? And even that chick on Fox News, she said that Kamala Harris could not stand without a white guy, right? And so they had to, her selection was very poor, right? She couldn't just, you know, Josh Shapiro was a no, because they would have ate his ass alive on so many different things. Tim Walz was the best of the worst, just like Kamala Harris is the best of the worst. I actually felt bad for Kamala when I saw her selection. I'm like, damn. I mean, and Tim Walz totally was the best of the worst. He was the best of the worst. And they're like, we can get Tim to resonate with the rural white guys. And the rural white guys were like, no, Tim calls things on his guns thingies. Like, we don't rock with Tim. Like, we don't rock with Tim. I'm pretty sure if any rural white guy was like on the fence, like maybe, they probably saw Tim Walz try to load that rifle and call something a thingy. They was like, oh, hell no. Hell no. He's not real, guys. He's calling things on his gun a thingy. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So I didn't have too much. I thought that that was just so funny because Tim Walz surely did go on a View talking cash shit about these Republican dudes. Talking about, I could probably shoot better than them. It's like, well, try to get to know the gun a little bit more, Tim, before you start big man talking. Get to know your gun a little bit more. But anyways, thought that was very interesting. I still think the Trump Bloomberg interview was a good interview. Because again, it challenged him to stand on his economic policies, and he did. He actually stood his own pretty well. I think that was actually a better opportunity for Trump because I was able to really understand his economic policies clearly. Kamala Harris missed an opportunity. That was actually a missed opportunity, even though it was one of those hoodwinked opportunities where you came in thinking you were going to be a speaker, but then they turned your ass into an interviewee. We see what y'all did there, Bloomberg, but that was actually a great forum for both candidates to lay out their economic policies. And Kamala Harris, you failed. You failed. If that, to me, that was the forum to stand up and show people who you are. And now people are, like everybody is just, I heard this one blogger, shout out to Greg Manarino. He's like, I don't know how to say this, but I feel like things are getting, people are really betting on Trump. And he thinks it's going to be chaos if Trump doesn't win, because we haven't really got a lot from Kamala Harris. And I think that's the biggest thing. With Trump, you know what you are dealing with. With Kamala Harris, she is very ambiguous. You don't know what you're dealing with. And, the puppetry is just crazy. But let me go back. And I don't like this, like, she's at this black church and they praying, talking about 1,000 angels over this political candidate, you apostates. Politics should have nothing to do with churches. Politicians shouldn't even be up in there in these churches. I mean, it conflicts so much, and real Christians understand that. It's just disgusting to me. So I'm going to skip past this, but listen to what this sister is saying, because, it's not just me. People will say, oh, you're a hater. You don't like Kamala Harris. First of all, I don't know Kamala Harris, right? I have to personally know you to not like you, right? I don't really look at Kamala Harris and be like, that's an evil person. I don't think that. She's not the sharpest tool in the shed for me. And she gives puppet, but I'm not going to demonize, the woman's personal character because I don't know it. She's very ambiguous. She has given us really not much.
Her personality isn't all that great. Y'all not about to tell me that y'all like the way she looked. Her complexion, her racial ambiguity can only take her so far. Look how
this is another black sister.
What is it? What are her redeeming qualities? What is it about this woman who is so obsessed with, there's nobody I'm that obsessed with that I'm just going to speak their name over and over and over again. If I don't like somebody, I don't say their name. She says Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, constantly. She's obsessive. She talks about Donald Trump more than she talks about her kids. I mean, she don't have none. Her stepkids. She talks about Donald Trump more than she talks about her daddy. She's talking about Donald Trump more than she talks about her late mother. She's talking about Donald Trump more than she talks about
TDS is real.
Her cousins. She talks about that man on a consistent basis. She's obsessed with him.
And this is a voter. And it's like, this is the point that I've been making, that people don't know what they're getting into when they are dealing with Kamala Harris. She's very ambiguous, right? She fakes the funk a lot. You don't know who she is organically. And to this girl point, she would rather talk about Donald Trump than her own damn self. You could ask her about Peaches and Herb, and she's going to say something about, oh, I bet you Donald Trump would not like them. It's like, come on now. Like, let's talk about you.
What do y'all like about her? What is it? She's not likable. She's not enjoyable. She's not funny. She's not fun. She's not creative. She's not unique. She's not quick on her toes. Quit playing with me. Y'all just really hate him. Y'all just really.
All right, guys.
So,
we gotta talk.
and shout out to Black Conservative Perspective for sharing this. But this is, the sentiment of a lot of Black voters, right? It's beyond skin color for people, and I think that people are used to Black people operating in a certain manner where, the newer generations of Black voters, they are smarter. They're not on those bandwagon of what the old folks said. Be on this bandwagon because this bandwagon is for us and that bandwagon is not. They're not on that. They're looking at straight up policies, what people are doing, who people are, and they're making assessments. And so it's like this whole blackface race card Kamala Harris thing. Y'all didn't even pick a sister that we could resonate with, right? I mean, I think if Nina Turner was on the mic versus Kamala Harris, Nina Turner would probably have a better shot at a Democratic nomination than Kamala Harris. She was actually a better alternative, no matter how, crazy y'all may think Nina may be, right? Or how, whatever, she still would have been a better face of a sister than Kamala Harris. Because at least she got the sister swag. What Tariq say, real foundational Black Americans, we have that Mojara, right? That Mojara is real. And you cannot emulate the soul, the Mojara of foundational Black Americans. So they would have did better finding a real life Black woman with that Mojara, because at least they would have had a little bit more character. At least they would have had a little bit more character. Kamala is not like us. So she don't got that Mojara. So what y'all trying to do is trying to sell her without the Mojara, and Black people are catching the plot, especially Black men. She don't got the soul of a Black woman. She got the soul of being around Black culture. But anyways, you guys, let me know what you think about this. I think that, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, that is a bogus ticket. It's dorky as hell at this point. And the only people that want that is like the revenge of the nerds type people. This is revenge. When I think about Democrats being in office in order right now, it's like revenge of the nerds. It's revenge of the nerds, and all the smart, actualized people have to deal with their emotional bullying because they're in power, right? That's really what it is. You take those people that lack those 5 social values that I talk about so much, right? This is what it is, right? And, I just think that's a weird ass ticket. It's just a weird ass fruity ticket. They don't even look right together. They don't even look like they have good chemistry. Like, that's how ridiculous. Now, I will say on the Trump JD Vance side, I don't think that chemistry is really good either. And I'm going to just keep it real. Like, I know people like them some JD Vance, but I'm not really a big fan of Damian Thorne. All right? He's giving omen. He's giving omen for me. But anyways, you guys, let me see what was else. I usually have the things that I want to talk about teed up, ready to go. Again, Trump said that, again, he felt hoodwinked by the Bloomberg interview. It wasn't supposed to be an interview. It was supposed to be him making a speech. But Bloomberg played him, had him sit down in that one-on-one and get drilled. But it actually turned out in Trump's favor. It really did. The Trump campaign should look at that as a win that they had to go through. Harris campaign, y'all need to look at it as a fail that y'all didn't show up, because that would have been the prime time for Kamala Harris to be in front of a business audience. If those are the type of people she's comfortable with, relax herself, and us be able to see a more organic Kamala Harris. She blew it. I mean, she really blew it. And so there you go. And now her campaign still shaming Black men, right? With this whole pop the balloon thing, right? If you don't vote, and I'm assuming if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, then you're not going to get, nookie, right? And what guy would actually want to date a woman who have those type of stipulations? If you don't vote this way, I'm not going to have sex with you. Just to let those type of women know there are way more women in the world than there are men. So your man is gonna have somebody to have sex with. Even if you want to deprive him on some crazy shit, he will always have somebody else to have sex with. So tread lightly with these ultimatums. Tread lightly when you are giving your man ultimatums and conceal and especially if you married and you withholding sex, from your husband on some vindictive shit. Number one, God is not gonna bless you. But number two, he just gonna go out and fulfill it somewhere else more times than not. So stop doing that crazy shit. Don't listen to Kamala Harris, okay? Don't listen to Kamala Harris and that crazy ass ad. Don't listen to her, right? But anyways, you guys, they're not reaching black men. They're not reaching a lot of men. And that's really why they're scrambling. They can't reach these men. They're having a hard time. And now it's like, well, fuck it. We're going to shame them. We're going to shame them. We're going to scare them. We're going to use all these little strategies to get them to make a voting decision. And I think at the end of the day, they're going to turn more of their desired voter base off. And that's what the Democrats are really going to be successful, is turning more of the population away from their party than they already have with their crazy ass policies. But anyways, let me get to you said Trump, the hope, hey, hopefully he'll do something to turn around this economy. I'm more like, hey, let's bring back the tariffs. Bring back the tariffs, and don't ask me if I know what a tariff is, because I did a whole damn video on it. You said this is sad. Well, get your ass on somewhere. Didn't nobody tell you to come over here and listen. People be crazy. Yeah, they just be coming over here with their little emotions. Don't nobody care about your emotions but you. I know it probably hurts your feelings to see black people talking in favor of Trump or even about Trump in a favorable way. Let your feelings work that out. Don't make that nobody else's problem but your own. But anyways, you guys, I didn't want to stay on for very long. It's none of your business who anybody else is voting for. People can vote for who they want to. All right? Harris, Biden, Trump, Daffy Duck, Marvin the Martian, it's none of your damn business. So I just say, hey, respect people's voting decisions. You do what's right for you based off of your competency, your understanding of the policies of both of these people. They want you to be voting on race and gender and all that stuff. Don't nobody care about if somebody is black, white, male, or female. Can they do the job? We're done with that identity stuff, right? I think everybody should be in agreement that identity politics is going to die in America. And we're not playing those games. Put the qualified contenders on the table and let their qualifications speak for themselves. When you got to start fluffing these candidates and earpiecing them and puppeting them, people know what it is. These people don't even look organic. And that's why Trump is stunting on Kamala Harris right now, because she doesn't look organic. At least with Donald Trump, he's been in the game long enough. We know the devil that we're dealing with. With Trump, he hasn't deviated from his personality, from his character at all. Kamala Harris is a damn robot. We don't know what we're going to get from I don't even know who she is. I really don't. I can't even look at her and be like, oh yeah, she cool as hell. Right? I mean, she just looks like somebody who is ambitious. She's one of those ambitious women, right? She obviously, her mom probably raised her to think like a man, right? So even though she has a whole husband, right? She probably thinks like a damn man too. So it's like, other than that, I don't know who she is. I really don't know who this woman is. But anyways, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Most of the topics people vote on. Abortion, it's like, here's the thing, I feel like abortion should be, it always should have been with the states. And, I think if people really understood, that Roe v. Wade argument, let me tell you something. Democrats are going to use abortion until they can't use it anymore. Like, that's really what it's going to be. They're always going to make women feel like their rights are being attacked, even though We have the same damn rights as everybody else, right? And abortion to me is an entitlement. It's not a right. To me, rights don't involve third parties. If you have to involve a third party in anything that you wish to do, it is no longer a right. So there's a broad range to this argument that I think people miss, because they're just worried about these women, these hot girl summer chicks mostly, being able to kill their babies without any consciousness and without little hassle. So, anyways, you guys, it's crazy with this abortion thing. I'm not trying to be mean, but I look at some of these rallies and I see some of these women just going hard for abortion and they got these little yuck faces. And I'm like, who is impregnating you for you to even get to this point? I don't even get it. Like, you see the weirdest looking women talking about, it's my body, my choice. And it's like, what man is choosing to even touch your body? I don't get it. Look at these abortion rallies sometimes. It's crazy to me. What man is even touching these women for them to even get to that point? Crazy. But anyways, you guys, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Shout out to Fawcett Media. He was the brother that really, I was looking at that Pop the Balloon. Check his channel out. He's a Black American brother, and he's just kind of pissed off at the way the Harris campaign keeps coming at Black men. And his whole take on the Pop the Balloon is a lot more thorough than mine because he's actually coming from a Black male perspective. So Fawcett Media channel, check that brother out. He's going to give you his perspective fully on how a brother feels about these continuous shaming attacks of Black men from the Harris campaign. Check him out. And I think it's FAUCETTE Media. Shout out to that brother because that's where I found this story, and I like to give people their flowers. Anyways, everyone, love your neighbors as yourself. This political witching is almost over. This is what I call these political cycles. They are political witchings, all right? And it's almost over. And whichever person wins, right, we still got to keep our prayers up. We still got to put God first. So, love your neighbor as yourself. If you would not disrespect or abuse yourself, don't disrespect or abuse your neighbor. Go to the voting booth if that is your desire. Keep your voting decision to yourself. Mind your business. And don't be out here punking people to know what their voting decisions are. And don't be punking people into a voting decision. If you want to break up your family because of politics, you're an idiot. You are an idiot. You are an idiot. You are an idiot. All right? People are breaking up friendships. They're breaking up relationships for people that don't even know they asses. Donald Trump don't know your ass. Kamala Harris don't know your ass, right? He don't know your people who are voting for them, right? So stop tearing up your family because of this. It don't make any sense, and it's not godly. It is not godly. If anything that breaks your family apart is more on the satanic side. So some of this politics is giving satanic energy for a lot of you so-called Christians. So y'all need to get y'all faith in check. Anyways, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I thank you for tuning in. If you did content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because YouTube loves censoring me. I don't know why. I'm not inflammatory. I try to be nice to people. I do get with my trolls. And maybe YouTube don't like that. Because sometimes I see an ignorant comment and I just got to put them in their place real quick. Like, get your ass out of here. But anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.